hijacked by profiteers. Big banks, Wall Street, giant corporations. They have a license to steal at our expense. Their credit cards keep us in debt.
That's it.
Their mortgages leverage the future of our families. So what I say is, we stop playing their game.
That's supposed to be kind of like a Tea Party group? Oh, okay. I was listening to the beginning. It kind of, to me, might have sounded like a MoveOn.org group. Profiteers, big companies, just like kind of out of central casting. Well, it was central casting for the premiere season episode of CSI. CSI, wildly popular, been around now for 11 seasons. A lot of my producers, they watch it and love the show. So on September 23rd, a little odd because little Justin Baby Bieber, he showed up and he was on the episode. And did he have the Bieber hair too? It was still, yeah, okay. So that protects him from any incoming bullets. So he was on the episode. He got kind of a not the best review, I guess, in the New York Times, but not a terrible review. It was fine. But CSI becoming political, is becoming lefty. Have they done episodes focused on Muslim terrorism, Matt?
I've been watching for years because I love this show, and I don't remember a single instance.
So now the Tea Party is the threat, no Islamic jihadists. Well, I'm delighted that Anthony Zuiker's on the show. He's the creator and executive producer of the CSI franchise. That means he's a big deal in the entertainment industry. You know, you even have a scary voice. Your voice is kind of, well, it's kind of like, it's very dramatic.
CSI guy.
Yeah, you're a do you know Joel Surnow, my friend from the...
I do. In fact, Joel was up for the job to run CSI along with Carl Mendelsohn, and he lost out.
Oh, lost out to the big guy.
It all worked out for him.
Oh, yeah, well, you guys it's a small community out in L.A. Well, tell me I want to talk more about your book, but tell me about this September 23rd episode, because... It just seemed to me, and I wrote this book, Shut Up and Sing, where I kind of exposed a lot of the Hollywood agendaizing and television shows. But it seems like this was just classic Brentwood, Malibu elitism, making these Tea Party people out to be a bunch of like yahoo morons who want to, burn down the United States to try to take it over. And to me, it just seemed like a facile treatment of the subject.
Well, the thing is, here's how it started. It started, we were in the room in June breaking the episode, and we wanted to take, a position of a faction. And again, Tea Party, I have no idea what all that means, so forgive me. But in terms of us we called it the Church of Crazyology in the room, meaning that when we were breaking the story, we just wanted to have, a faction take a position that we shouldn't have driver's license and why pay taxes, and just take that position.
Anti-government.
Yeah,
group.
Exactly. And somehow it turned into, once Bieber got on and did it, Then all this stuff started going across the internet about, Tea Party this, and Bieber was a vehicle to have, and I guess it was just weird timing, but it just got made to be a bigger deal than what it was. But we had no intention of that at all.
So you had no intention sitting around the table to smear the Tea Party movement at the CSI production facility. Have you taken the same tack toward, let's say, Islamic terrorists or radical pro-abortion people who believe that you should have abortion in the third trimester of pregnancies and do everything they can to ensure that? I mean, have you done any of those storylines?
No, I mean, the only thing that ever happened...
I can help you come up with some of those, by the way. I can help you. I have good ideas. But go ahead.
Once upon a time, there was a cyber convention I spoke at, and it was really a cover for the Pentagon. So when I went to go speak for the cyber convention, they said, look, we're from the Pentagon, this is our cover, and we have an hour of questions for you. And it was at the Ritz over at Pasadena, and they fired questions about, can you utilize the CSI content to send different messages overseas to Muslim countries? And I'm like, no, we can't do that because the episode's already locked, and we don't do that kind of thing. But very bizarre line of questioning. That's the closest we've ever come to that kind of thing.
All right. Well, here's another soundbite from the September 23rd show.
No ID, no credit cards. You got anything with your name on it?
I burned them. Emancipated myself.
Okay, well, congratulations. You're not going to need them where you're going.
We're on the same side, sister. I love this country. Revere our Constitution. But dark forces are afoot.
Well, revere it just, again... I don't want to make too much of this because heaven forbid I criticize somebody as powerful as you, Anthony Zuiker. But I mean, if that's not a drive-by hit against the Tea Party movement, then I don't know what is. I mean, I revere the Constitution. Only thing you didn't have is like the foreboding music in the background. You're like, dun, dun, dun.
I tell you, the guys who wrote it, I know they were on that page at all. So I think it's just a.
Well, do they believe people? Yeah, but do they believe people who believe in the Constitution are radical crazies?
No, I mean, first of all, the guys that wrote that episode, one's a surfer that doesn't care about religion, and one doesn't care about politics.
So they don't care about religion or politics. Do they know anything about either? Because it doesn't sound like it the way this was written. I mean, this sounds like it was, and I mean, no offense. Look, you're a huge success, but there's a whole country out there that's like in a revolt against what's happening in Washington, D.C. And when they see these episodes, they got the Beeb on, you got the Bieber on, it's all cool because he's out there. But you have these episodes and they think, do you guys ever get out of the bubble of Malibu or Brentwood? I mean, do you ever leave that place? Because in the middle of the country, there's this place called America. And the people are not liking what's happening at the hands of this administration. And they're good people. They're not crazies. They don't want to blow up cop funerals or whatever that episode was about. That's not who they are. And so I think whether it was intended or not, that's what people take away from it. And because there's not equal treatment on both sides, of the crazies on the left don't quite get the same treatment as the supposed, crazies in all groups, obviously, but there's not the equal treatment, I think, oftentimes isn't there. I don't mean to filibuster, but go ahead.
No, that's fine. But we took a position in that particular fictional faction to be anti-government, and that's about as deep as it went. It's really media that likes to look deeper into it and make it a bigger deal than what it is, and then blame the show for not taking both sides and being politically correct. It's not our job. Our job is to be just to entertain people, and that's what we did. For 17.7 million people, and Justin Bieber was a way to get a younger audience in to try our show.
Oh, I don't blame you for doing that. I mean, the Bieber thing was really smart.
We can't control what happens after the show airs and what people take away from it and look into it. I think that's just part of our American culture, and that's what makes our country great. We don't take offense by it. We try to get everything right. It's a very difficult show to write and produce, and
no, it is.
Pretty good season so far.
Yeah, well, you've had an unbelievable run. There's no doubt about it. But I'm just, I talk to millions of people every day, and I can tell you that there is a concerted feeling, and I believe a growing feeling, that the entertainment industry, really isn't playing to the heart of the country. And it doesn't mean that you can't criticize conservatives. I don't really have a problem with that. But it's just the criticism, again, I mean, just going back to that point, always seems to go one way. It's the crazy religious zealots, it's the Catholic priest, it's the evangelical Christian, it's the anti-government group, and they all tend to be, for some bizarre reason, the surfer and the guy who doesn't like politics only seems to criticize the group that seems to be a lot like the Tea Party movement. I mean, and the country's going, well, what? They don't even know me. I'm just telling you, that's how a lot of folks see this, and they respect your talent, and they respect what you're doing. I think, and you have a huge audience, and you're a huge success. But all I would say to you, Anthony, is that there's a huge country out there, and I think you guys could have double the audience if you did those kinds of shows that don't insult, I think, the intelligence of and the movement known as the America movement or the Tea Party movement, whatever you want to call it. I think you could even be bigger.
Look, our intent's not to insult anybody. We sit down in the summer. We think of a lot of episodes, a lot of storylines. We all come back from a month off after working 11 straight months. We get in there, roll our sleeves up, and we get creative. And sometimes it comes out great, and sometimes it roasts people the wrong way, but that's just television.
Anthony Zuiker, I'm delighted you're with us. Congratulations, I mean that, on all your success. And the DigiNovel is this new multimedia platform that basically you sent soaring. And the book is out. The big book is out tomorrow, though, right? Tomorrow is the big launch.
Tomorrow night is our episode entitled Squeagle, which is our forensic-proof killer. It stars Anne Margaret. And as you know, she's very picky on what she does for television. She did a great job in that episode. And then when the show finishes, it continues in the book Dark Prophecy in story.
That is neat. Yeah. So Dark Prophecy continues and you are. That is the master of multimedia. Good for you. It's a good way of thinking, and it's incredibly creative. And Anne Margaret, last seen on the Larry King set, right? Wasn't Larry King hitting on her a couple weeks ago? Oh, okay. Anthony, you're great to come on. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And creator, executive producer, CSI franchise. The new book is The Dark Prophecy. Tomorrow it dovetails from the CSI franchise. Stay with us.
The Laura Ingraham Show.